Good evening, I'm Mandy Murphy. The curtain has dropped and the votes are in. Tonight, we're live as anxious fans wait for the next American Idol to be crowned. And hip-hop star Nelly checks in with advice for Ruben and Clay. Plus, the best place to take your rough-looking pooch for grooming.
Tonight on Fox 2 News at 9.
You'll want to stick around after American Idol. We'll bring you a live news conference with the winner. And what's Nelly's take on Idol? He has some advice for the winner.
You're watching KTVI St. Louis. Live, local, late breaking. Fox 2 News at 9 starts now.
You know what? I wish you shoved that up your, you know what?
A woman accused of allowing her grandson to live in a filthy and abusive home gets into it with Fox 2.
Girls as young as 4 or 5 are already thinking about dieting. In the Fox Files, the pressure to be thin. What you say to your kids about food could impact their lives forever.
A St. Louis hip-hop group thought it was their big break, but instead they've learned a hard lesson about the music business.
And I'm Len Turner live in Kirkwood. The search for an American Idol is over. Reaction from some of these local fans coming up.
We're going to have a lot more about American Idol, a lot more coverage on that coming up. We're going to go back to Hollywood, where we're waiting for a news conference with the winner, and we'll also have Nelly's advice for the new Idol.
But first, a jury is deliberating right now in the sex abuse trial of a St. Louis County priest. Fox 2's Chris Renier is live in Clayton with the latest. Chris?
Manny, the jury got the case here about 3:30 this afternoon, and they have been in deliberations ever since. Within the past few minutes, we've learned the jury handed the judge a note saying they are at an impasse and would like to come back tomorrow. However, the judge apparently handed the jury back another note requesting them to deliberate for another 1 hour tonight. Father Brian Kuchar is facing 6 counts of statutory sodomy for allegedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old boy starting in 1995. Some of the abuse allegedly happened at Assumption Church in South St. Louis County. Kuchar was an associate pastor there at the time. We're told the abuse lasted 2.5 years and also took place at other churches as well as at the boy's home. Kuchar confessed to molesting the teen last year on tape to police, but on the stand this morning, Kuchar tried to explain away the confession, saying he was confused by investigators and just wanted to go home. Kuchar's attorneys called the police methods psychological coercion. David Clossy with the Survivors Network of those abused by priests says trials like this are tough on victims and their families.
For the victim and his family, it's been a pretty rough few days. To have to rehash and relive and discuss in essentially a pretty public setting the sex crimes that were committed against you is obviously very, very stressful.
The victim, now 22 years old, testified yesterday about those alleged sexual encounters. Jurors reviewed the audio tape confession about 7 o'clock tonight. Dick, if convicted, Father Kuchar could face up to 42 years in prison. Back to you.
And they will deliberate another hour tonight. We'll get back to Chris if anything breaks in that case. The mother and grandmother of a boy rescued from a home filled with animal feces and violence are charged tonight, and a neighbor who helped save the boy and his sister is talking only to Fox 2. Fox 2's Nancy Pasternak is live in St. Charles with more. Nancy?
Well, Dick, this woman who doesn't want to be identified said she had never met this boy until she found him on her doorstep Monday morning. But it seems that her son and other classmates had noticed that this little boy had problems and had smelled like cat urine, but up until now, no adult had come forward to help him.
I knew something was wrong. He sat down and talked to me. He was filthy dirty. He was trembling.
She listened, then called police. And what officers later found convinced them to charge 32-year-old Patricia Mitchell and 54-year-old Mary Monty with 2 counts first-degree child endangerment. The boy and his 12-year-old sister removed from a home in the Harvester neighborhood that is now condemned.
The deputy in his report indicated that he couldn't even take one step in this house with either having to walk around animal feces or actually stepping on animal feces.
Animal control removed 49 cats, 3 dogs, and 2 ferrets from the house. The boy told police he was regularly punched and beaten with a whip. He had 30 bruises on his body to show for it.
You know what? I wish you shoved that up your, you know what.
The women deny the charges.
I hope you do something someday and somebody does this to you. And
Neighbors were shocked by the charges. They say the two women who worked at a nearby gas station seemed very friendly. They never suspected anything wrong. They and others now wonder how no one saw the boys' bruises.
I don't know how long these kids had these bruises, but you would think somebody would notice something.
Francis Howell school board members did not return our calls, and the school district released a statement saying it is now working with the Division of Family Services and the Sheriff's Department in this investigation. Others hope the children won't be let down.
I can only hope for the best, that our system won't fail him and keep him safe.
Now, the two women were released from jail on $10,000 cash bond each. An arraignment is scheduled here at the courthouse tomorrow afternoon, and the children remain in protective custody. Dick?
All right, Nancy, a 7-year-old girl was struck by a car on a dangerous hill in Jefferson County, and her family says it never should have happened. First grader Kayla Lombardo was hit while walking a mile up the hill on Fiedler Road after being dropped off by her school bus, which doesn't go up the hill because it has a difficult turnaround. Her mother and other residents have been pleading with the county to add sidewalks to make the hill safer. After Kayla was struck by the car, the driver kept on going.
You know, what is it going to take, someone to get killed on that road?
That's where I
He suffered a leg and lower back bruises. The Fox C6 superintendent says they are now reconsidering whether to send the bus all the way up the hill so the children won't have to walk.
New details now on some breaking news we reported earlier tonight. Police are ruling out foul play in the death of a woman whose body was pulled from a truck in the Merrimack River near Fenton. The woman is identified as Susan La. Detectives say she was prone to epileptic seizures. A fleeing suspect is shot and killed by police in the Metro East. 35-year-old Cloyd Kenslow Jr. of Alton was wanted after he fled a traffic stop on Sunday. This morning's pursuit started in Godfrey and ended in Alton when he crashed through a chain link fence. When Kenslow tried to back up, officers began shooting. Kenslow was killed. A female passenger in the car with him was not injured.
Police call it the lowest of crimes, thieves stealing from hospital patients who are often helpless. Detectives released this store's security video. They say it shows two suspects using a stolen credit card that had been taken from a room of a West County hospital patient. Police say it's the type of crime that happens at hospitals throughout the area all too often. If you recognize these suspects, please call the Creve Coeur Police. Time now for the first forecast. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Well, it's been another nice May day over St. Louis, and the evening has been delightful. A neat look to the west with our sky cam right here on the rooftop of Fox 2, watching the mix of clouds and the setting sun. A little virga showing up at times. That's rain evaporating before reaching the ground. And our skies are going crystal clear overnight tonight. Pretty sunset out there. In turn, temperatures will take another tumble. Pretty good tumble for late May anyway. Once again, like last night, most of the region falling back into the 40s. Nothing close to a record, though. The record will hold in the upper 30s. What's ahead for the long holiday weekend? I'll have my forecast. It's on the way. Maybe.
All right, Dave, thank you. Well, tonight, America has chosen its newest idol. Millions watched as Ruben won the crown. Fox News' Len Turner spent the night with local fans who just can't get enough. He is live in Kirkwood now with more. Len?
Yeah, Mandy, just take a look behind us here. Dozens of idol fans turning out here at the Kirkwood Farmers Market to see Ruben take the prize. But these are idol fans who say it doesn't really matter who wins or loses. The whole thing was just a whole lot of fun. As America chooses its newest idol, fans in St. Louis tuning in to see who wins. This group gathering at the Kirkwood Farmers Market, each cheering on a favorite.
Definitely Ruben. I'm going to play because he's so cute.
Ruben all the way.
Even the snow cone stand getting in on the idol act with two new flavors named for Ruben and Clay.
Clay's North Carolina Cooler is a combination of watermelon and Citrus Island.
American Idol reached record audiences its second season. Fans like these just couldn't get enough of this nationwide search for a star. Here's why.
If you miss it, you don't get the next show, and then you don't know who's voted off, and then you can't talk about it with people at school.
I think it's not like all the other reality shows. It's just more better.
I just like to watch when I like it when they get kicked off. I think it's funny.
And we have plenty of Clay and plenty of Ruben fans out here tonight. First, let's talk to the biggest Ruben fan out here tonight, Ellen Campbell. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
I am so excited that Ruben won. I was screaming when they said, Ruben stuttered!
Why are you such a big Ruben fan?
Because he has so much personality and he really reminds me of me. He smiles a lot. And I love to sing and perform just like Ruben.
Okay, so it wasn't such great news for the Clay fans out here tonight. Let's talk to one of the Clay fans in the audience. You were hoping that Clay could go all the way, right?
I was very upset when Clay didn't win. I was kind of mad.
Why do you think he should have won the competition?
I think Clay should have won because he could really belt out a note, and he was really on tone. He put on a great performance, and he was such a good performer.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike Gallagher, the big Clay fan out here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for being out here tonight. All the American Idol fans who, again, they say it's all worthwhile because they had a great time for the whole season.
They sure did. More better. I love that explanation. Thanks a lot, Lynn. Well, we have lots more American Idol coverage coming